Today we are going to be making a moss farm, and we're going to be doing that because we need bone meal. At some point I would like to go ahead and get a bunch of grass and stuff down here, as well as I'd probably end up wanting to decorate it with different like plants and stuff like that. So yeah, gonna need some bone meal so that way we can bone meal flowers and all that. So that there is the plan for today. And yes, thanks to some hardworking endermen, we already got started on putting grass down here. And we got a few places like that block above me there. And we have all down here as well. Those endermen, they're beating me at my own job here. I gotta get this done. Now, I have no idea what layout I want for this area, so I'm just gonna go ahead and we are gonna... Oh, look, there's one of those hard-working endermen. He's actually got a grass block by the looks of it too. Really? Man, I need to get this done. But yes, I'm gonna put it over here because... yeah, we got this little, already kind of dug out area right here, so I think this would be perfect. It's out of the way in case I end up not liking where I put it later. I can kind of build around it easily. Yeah, I already came up with a bit of a design for a moss farm, which ended up turning out to be kind of a carbon copy of Etha's. Didn't realize until after I built it, but I think it's pretty similar to his. But yeah, got the design ready. I just need to gather up a few resources and stuff like that, and then we can get started on it. And that there, of course, requires me to stare at amethyst and watch that grow because tinted glass is awesome. Yet another enderman with another grass block. Really? Alright. But yeah, got everything all ready now, and yeah, all we gotta do is get it built. But we need a pretty large area. We need 17 by 17 area, a little bit bigger than that for walking around and stuff, and it needs to be 10 blocks tall. Now, I do have a few issues in this area that I didn't really realize. I do have a giant water aquifer thing right here, so can't really go too far over this way, so gonna have to go down a few extra blocks here, so hopefully we don't dig into that. But we also have a small problem down below, so we can't go too low. Now down here, we actually have a giant cave right here, so we can't go too low or we'll dig right down into that. So yeah, a little bit of a tight spot, I guess. It looks like we'll be swapping locations because yeah, not only is the aquifer all the way up there, it's also all the way down here as well. So yeah, let's go somewhere else. New location acquired, right next to the farms over there. Yeah, went ahead, I dug out the hole, so I already know this is a good spot. We can fit it all right here with no problems whatsoever. Now let's go ahead and let's take a look at what I've made so far. So basically all this is this here is the platform where the moss will actually grow. So a 7 by 7 area basically, that's all it is. And this here is what we'll be using to actually grow and bone meal the moss. Now, the way it works is basically we'll send a redstone signal to the sticky piston up there that has the observer. When it gets that signal, it'll go down here, break any plants that are here, and it'll shoot a piece of bone meal from here down to there, basically. And it won't trigger this one because basically if there's a like plant or block or something on the moss block, it won't actually grow anything. So it won't trigger it then, but when it lifts back up after the signal goes away, then it'll hit that redstone there, and then it'll go and grow the moss here and spread it all over this platform. Now we just got to get to the main part, and that is the stone generation. So I have to make 4 stone generators, 1 on each side, and then I got to do something to basically gather all the stuff we get from this into the center here. So we'll be using some water streams for that, and that right there will require a lot of precise timings and stuff. So let's go ahead and let's get the rest of this all set up. And with that right there, this is all completed now. All that's really left to do on it is we gotta go ahead and set up like the storage stuff and bring it all up here, sort it, that kind of stuff. But for right now, let's jump on down there. Let me show you how this all works. Starting off with, of course, right behind me here, the brains of the operation, or just 2 hopper clocks. Now, the one closest to me here, that is for the outer ring of this thing. Now what that does is basically sends a signal to some pistons down there, and if the pistons are able to push a block to replace a moss block, well then it'll push the stone block, and it'll also make it so when a piston is able to replace a moss block and it doesn't have a stone block, when it moves down below here, the observers here will actually detect if a normal piston moves and send a signal through observers down and around here up to a sticky piston, which pulls the stone block that is ready down to replace the one it just pushed. So that there is what the outer ring does. Now the inner ring, basically all it does is it sends a signal around to basically let water out to collect everything in the middle. And below the middle block here will basically be a hopper minecart to collect everything. And as well, this also sends a signal over here to a... I don't really know the name of it, but when you send a signal, it shoots the item around. That's how it works. And switches the signal here. And basically, that sends a signal over here to lower this and raise it up. That way there, we can bone meal the block here. But yeah, let's go ahead and let's actually power this thing on and show you how it all works. If I just go ahead, I have a wire here. That's basically the on-off switch. I just gotta flick a lever, and I'll probably have a button up top for later. And let's chuck in a little bit of bone meal right here, and as you can see, as this here goes up, that'll shoot one of them down and then use it. Water sucks everything up. I do have a hopper minecart down there, so it's going to be sucked up there. Now we just got to get the storage and all that kind of stuff set up. Now I already came down here and changed this up again already. Basically, when I came down here, it wasn't like putting stuff out fast enough. So now this way here, the hopper minecart here will put items both in here and here. Hopefully that'll be fast enough. I throw that in. As you can see, it's going down by 2 now. Not fast enough. I can add another minecart on this side and just some more hoppers right there, and that should hopefully do the trick. Yeah, the plan for the storage is basically I'm just gonna shoot everything out right here, and yeah, from there it'll basically just go back towards the wall there, go up, get sorted, and then what I think I'm gonna do is I want to have 2 different modes for this. That is right, 2 different modes. One mode is going to be specifically for getting the plants and stuff, and the other mode will be basically strictly for bone meal. And to do that right there, well, it's actually extremely simple. All you got to do is put a hopper in front of the sorting area and lock and unlock that as you need it. So basically every item will go in that hopper if I have it set to produce bone meal. And if I don't have it set to do the bone meal thing, then every item will instead go in and be sorted and all that kind of stuff there. Yeah, I'm gonna get started on the sorting system here, get everything ready, and I'll be right back once I finished it. A lot of time has passed, and well, a lot of grass blocks have been placed, as you can tell. They're like everywhere. Like, I was just joking about the Enderman doing the job for me and grassing the cave up, but they're like everywhere. Everywhere you look, there's a grass block, like even all the way back here. What the heck, Minecraft? But yeah, I got the storage sorter all set up and ready to go, and I made some massive changes to this thing because I kind of realized something and I feel dumb for not realizing it. But with 2 clocks, things were getting out of sync, and basically it would end up eventually making this create cobblestone, which you can't have that, not when you're doing a moss farm anyway. But yeah, let's hop on down there. I'll show you the slight changes and adjustments I made. So first off, like I said before there, I am using a single clock now. And in this clock, there is a total of, oh, not in there, 5 items. So 5 items in there, and that runs all of this. Now, the bottom line here, going around the outer ring, that is the same as it was before. But the top ring here, basically, I just ran it going over here. And then it goes through there as normal. And the only other change to this that I made other than the clock is this right here, that there were 4 repeaters there before. And now there's like 2 with full delay there and 1 just placed normally. Yeah, as you see here, I got a ton of hoppers here. I think in the future, what I'm going to do is I might put like water streams or something here rather than hoppers is probably what I'm going to do. But I'll be honest, I got a little lazy and decided to use hoppers because I didn't want to deal with water. And I also added an on-off switch so I can turn this on and off from up top as well. So yeah, let's head on up there and I'll show you all the sorty stuff. So starting off with what's up here, this here is basically just to go ahead and lock the hoppers. These ones here are basically the filter area here. This just locks those so that way there, if I want to just make bone meal for the farm down there, I can do that. And when those are locked, basically It'll, instead of going in the hoppers, it'll just bring the items around here and turn it all to bone meal. And yeah, that gets sent to the farm. Now, if the farm ever fills up with bone meal, which, let's be honest, it never will, because that is a lot of hoppers it has to fill. If that thing ever happened and it got filled, then because of the way this hopper is facing, it'll just go ahead and send the items this way, and the bone meal will go into a dropper right there, get shot out into the bubble column, and I have a sorter up here specifically for bone meal, which is right here. Theoretically, we can collect bone meal from this, but there's a lot of hoppers that would have to get filled first. That's why I want to use water streams, just so I don't have all these hoppers I have to fill up. I suppose since I have this set up to go ahead and just like produce a bunch of bone meal and stuff and bone meal everything, I could send a few pieces that I get from it over there instead, just from one of the things there. I may end up doing that. Yeah, let's give this thing a little test run. I'll show you how it works. So basically, I have the on-off switch right here. Right now, I have it set up so that way everything will just get turned to bone meal. But yeah, as you can see, there is basically like a split second when it can use up the bone meal there and it gets the moss, and we can still get the bushes and stuff like that, which is nice. And everything will eventually get pushed down to the hopper minecart we got down there and yeah, make its way up here. Now, I found out that you actually get a lot more moss blocks than I thought from this because like, yeah, let's flick this off. So this will start filling up, and as you can see, fills up pretty quickly. But yeah, if we take a look at the filter there. Okay, so it's not doing it now, but before when I was doing this, basically this would go up to a full stack. It's slowly going up though, as you can see. Slowly goes up and that'll get completely filled, and moss blocks will all end up back here anyway. Yeah, lots of moss from this thing, that is for sure. But I want bone meal. I got a lot of hoppers to fill. Yeah, that's kind of how that works. Now everything just goes over there and ends up back here, and we get bone meal. Now, like I said, I'm probably going to do it with this one here, but basically make it so this stuff goes into the system here instead, just so that way I'm constantly getting a steady supply of bone meal. I think I'm going to go ahead and do that. And much more hopper spam later, and yeah, we got some passive bone meal. That is right. Got some bone meal going in there now, just from the last hopper there. Won't be a whole lot, and I still got to fill up the filter for me, so yeah, it'll take a little bit before we actually get some. But yeah, that right there, I think I'm gonna call it here for today. In the future, I think we'll go ahead and decorate this area up, but honestly, I'm not too sure what I want to do here. I kind of want to keep this area having like a cavey kind of vibe, unlike the spider farm and stuff like that, the triple XP farm there. Yeah, that there's gonna be it for me for today though, guys. So thank you all so much for watching, and I hope you stick around for the next one. Until then, have fun everyone. See ya.